Hey guys, it's Megan. Today I'm going to be talking about always ask, never settle. So I graduated last Sunday, and 3 companies prior to that Sunday, that Friday, 3 companies said they were going to reach out to me. And so this is like kind of like an update based on my last video. So I had 3 companies tell me they're going to reach back out to me by Friday. Company A, Company B, Company C. Company A was actually in a different state. They actually didn't even bother telling me that they were not picking me or going with other candidates, but it was kind of mutual, like I understand. Company B said they were gonna give it back to me on Friday, and they actually didn't even contact me until like yesterday, which was like almost 2 weeks later. And then Company C really was the one that was like, I believe this is God, like this is God's doing, this is the company I'm meant to be with. And they were literally, I got a phone interview, a call back for an in-person interview, and then an offer letter. The offer letter took a few more days, but every single day this woman was calling me, messaging me like, hey, we're still doing it. It takes some time for HR to approve everything, but we are going to pursue an offer, so she respected me enough to keep me in the loop, keep me updated, all these things. Where Company A didn't even bother to like tell me that they were moving on with other candidates, which I guess is fine. But Company B waited. So when Company C was so persistent in telling me like, hey, we really want you, really value you, I went with them. And I will say I'm very grateful for the amount I make. But I knew like some of my friends at school and stuff were making like over 70 grand starting out and stuff like that. And so when I got my offer letter, it was like 67,500, which I was so grateful for. And I humbly and like happily accepted that. Time goes on, I'm moving into my new apartment, I got my offer letter, I'm on top of the world, I'm so grateful. And then the Company B reaches out with an offer letter of over 70 grand, so 72,000. And so that's really hard for someone who's had a lot of debt, who's going through college, isn't in the best financial state at the moment, to see that it's a $5,000 pay bump, and so I had to email Company C, which it did hurt my heart, because I was like, I'm so grateful for this company. I felt like this was the company God wanted me to be with, and they've been so thorough with me, telling me everything. But Company B made an offer that was really hard to say no to. And so I emailed Company C, and I obviously a very professional email basically saying that I got this other offer. Are you able to meet this budget? And if not, I will have to make the hard decision of, choosing the other company. And she, again, so kind, so thoughtful. This woman deserves all her money, every single penny she deserves. She's such a hard worker. She was calling me, she emailed me, she was like, we're working on it, don't you worry. Like, this is like 3 days before I'm supposed to start as well. So I'm supposed to start Monday, today's Friday. And so she literally worked day and night. This is, I think, Wednesday or Thursday, I got the offer letter from the other company. And literally yesterday, I got the offer. And she called me and she was saying like, thank you, basically, for asking me. And I know she's like, a lot of people will go into the industry upset because they think they deserved more, or thought they wanted better, but they never said anything, and so they would just be angry. And so she was like, we really see the value in you, and we really see like what you have to offer, and so like we are so happy to do this for you, and we're not only gonna match it, we're gonna exceed it. So she offered me 72,500, and I was like, I literally could have cried right there. Like, I felt so grateful, and this woman was so willing to see the value in me, and in a split second able to give me an offer. And I know one of my friends, I think she was given like 70,000 or 72 or something like that, and she was like, can I get 75,000? And they were like, well, how did you come up with that number? And I can't remember her reasoning, but she was like, oh, I just like wanted to ask. And they were like, yeah, we'll do that, because they saw the value in her. And so I was okay with 67,500, and I was very grateful for that. But now I get 72,500 just because someone else saw that I was more valuable and they still wanted me. And so my partner, I'm not gonna say how much he makes for his privacy and everything, but let's say he makes, I don't know, like 10, 60 an hour, right? And so I remember him asking in the interview, like, oh, can I get like 40 cents more just so I can have a whole number of $11? And they were like, no. Which is fine, because this is like his first job, like in his career. He doesn't really have like a lot of experience. He didn't really do internships when he was in college. So right now he's settling for that. But the difference in value of companies there's a difference between like, you know, I'm just gonna say like, I don't know, Amazon. Like to you, to them, like you're literally just like someone who's replaceable, someone who can, it's like, oh, if you don't like this, then you can leave, basically. You know, where other companies really, really value you. And if you ask and they value you as a person, like that's the company you want to work for, and they're gonna be like, yeah, if you want that, we can get that for you. But some of these like bigger companies will do the bare minimum for their employees, and then don't understand why, like they're like why the people who work there don't feel valued, why they get so upset, why or their turnover is so much, you know. To me, I don't see anything wrong with asking, and I think the worst thing they can do is say no. But I think this principle can be used in lots of areas of your life, like the people you're hanging out with. Like there are going to be people who are going to give you the bare minimum and expect you to stay there. Then you should be able to say like, no, I deserve better. And if they say like, no, you don't deserve better, or there'll be two types of people. There are people who are like, oh no, you don't deserve better, like who do you think you are? Or there would be person B where it's like, you know, I want to see your point of view. I might not fully understand or fully comprehend, but I want to try my best to understand because I care about you and I care about your, you know, you as a person. And the same thing with you. Like, are there people out there where it's like they are worth every single obstacle to jump through hoops, jump through, you know, flames for these people? There are people out there that are worth that. And then there's also other people who aren't. So why are you keeping those people who aren't around when they're literally making you go through obstacles, making you go through all these things? Like, do not settle. You need to stand your ground and know your worth. I guess we can give an example of like companies to like friends. So I had company A who didn't reach out to me after they said they would. So say my friend, we had 3 friends, we were all going to get dinner, right? Okay, so person A literally no show, doesn't even text back, doesn't even know where they are. Company B says they're going, doesn't show up, but then tells me a week and a half later, like, oh, hey, do you still want to? And then company C is texting me every day how excited they are, and literally they're on time. And if they're not on time, they're keeping me updated, like, hey, I just want you to know I'm running a little late. I'll be there as soon as possible. That level of respect, as in for companies, can be applied to the same thing as people. And just know, like, your time is just as valuable as anybody else's, and so why are you settling? Your bank account, you worked just as hard as somebody else, and your bank account is lower? Why are you not asking? Yeah, that's basically all I have. So yeah, thanks so much for watching.